So hello everyone. It's very nice to see everyone joining this event on this lovely Monday. This event is a joint initiative between the Knowledge Economy Forum and project 𝗬𝗏𝗏 from Horizon Europe. And this event reflects a shared commitment to empowering educators as key persons in guiding pupils and students toward engaging with STEAM subjects. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 project, among, of course, its broader objectives, focuses on strengthening teacher capacity and confidence in fostering curiosity, critical thinking, creativity, and that is why we meet all here today. So I am very happy to present you our speakers for today. That's Katalin and Peter, who will lead us through this webinar. So I wish everyone to have a very productive and informative time. Feel free to discuss, ask, and to enroll in this very particular meeting. So, Katalin, Peter, I now give the microphone stage to you, and have a very nice afternoon to everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for the introduction. First, I will tell a few words about the project, about 𝗬𝗏𝗏 project, and then some general thoughts about what gender perspective in education in general or in STEAM education means. And then I will pass the floor to Peter to introduce more concrete educational methodologies. So I'm just sharing my screen right now. So on the picture you see the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 project consortium, and this is a Horizon project, and our main focus is the gender inclusive STEAM education. And on this, we mean that we are promoting STEAM education. So what is this change from STEM to STEAM? And we are focusing on gender inclusiveness. So what does gender inclusivity means? What does it mean if we want to incorporate the gender perspective into education or into methodology, specifically in STEAM education? We have 21 partners on board for this project from 19 countries. We are just at the middle of our projects, so we are currently in the phase of testing or starting to test educational activities. So here I am just briefly sharing you what are the main activities in this project. So first we conducted a research about how women, girls studying in STEM education, how they feel, how they proceed with their education and career. And we also wanted to see that what those who are the active player, the providers in STEAM education, think of the gender inclusiveness of STEM education. And then in this summer, we are starting to piloting 3 streams of educational activities. One is a mentoring program for university students and PhD students. And then we have activities, what we pilot in science centers and museums, because we would like to see that if we improve the gender inclusiveness in the activities, then does it mean that the education provide more gender equality? And then we have what we call a talent nurturing program. Within this, we provide a workshop for teenagers with the focus of enhancing their interest towards STEM careers. And we also try to focus on teachers, as Laima said, that we are also keen to provide support for teachers' capacity improvement. And for this, I would like to offer 2 activities from the project. One is that we established so-called national inspiration hubs in 14 countries. these countries about community building for teachers. And in the framework of these hubs, we are offering webinars on national languages, except this webinar, which is entirely in English. And then we have what we call virtual makerspace, which is a sub page on the workshop, on the project website. And here we offer resources, events, informational events related to STEAM education. We are also making a policy-related work, which means that by the end of the project, we are publishing a roadmap about how to make the STEAM education more gender and diversity inclusive. Just a very short information that we are going to have a conference in Brussels by the end of the next year. And in the next couple of minutes, I would like to share a few details about what we found about what are the challenges for the students studying in STEM, not necessarily at the tertiary level, so not at universities, but primary and secondary school. And here, what you can see, this is the results of our analysis, what we made out of 85 interviews with teachers, professionals from STEM education. And two things I would like to highlight here is, so we asked about that what kind of challenges the girls or young women face in STEM education. And this could be of your interest. So we often heard, so what kind of stereotypes work? What the teachers or the representatives of institution know is that we often heard that the girls need to try harder, simply. So this is something maybe worth to think of it, why teachers, educators think that the girls need to try harder. But at the same time, we often heard that girls, their performance are undervalued. And that's and also, well, interesting question that undervalued by whom? By the teachers or the parent? It also depends on who said about it, about the girls. And then what we often heard, not from secondary school teachers, that the stereotypical thinking on girls are still very strong, that the thinking that they are less capable and they are less interested in STEM subjects. So I think the question for us here is not to doubt that there is this stereotypical thinking, what is the reality behind this stereotypical thinking? So why it is still as an issue that the girls are less interested in STEM subject. As another thought I would like to introduce for this webinar is that we made interviews with young women already studying at universities in any kind of STEM subject. And so we asked them that who supported them to be able to enter into university education. And they often mention teachers. And here I chose some of the interview extracts describing that what kind of support they received from the teachers. And if you read these extracts, you will see that the teachers, so what kind of support they received from the teachers. So they mainly received emotional support, they received attention from the teachers, or so this whole, what you see, this is all about motivation and providing them self-confidence. So this was the main thing, what they emphasized when they talked about the teachers. And based on this, we call the teachers the significant others. So the teachers have significant role in motivating children, secondary school students, to enter into tertiary education. And what you don't see here is that these young university students, they were not speaking about the hard science the teachers taught them. So they were not saying that, oh, this teacher was so good in explaining the math to me. Instead of, they were always speaking about that my teacher has an attention on me. But so it's very important to say that the teachers has a main role in motivating, supporting children, and this is nothing new for you, I suppose. And that's why I would like to also raise the question, what is a kind of double bind situation for the teachers? Because when we say about that we should do something about gender equality in education, either in general or in STEAM education, it's often the female teachers who are expected to do something, to do the teachers. So, which was very in line with our research result, because when the teachers were praised by the students, they were mentioning this, that they behaved like parents. They were very gently, and they had the feeling that the teachers felt responsible for them. So this is very, we would say that this is what is expected from the teachers, what is expected from the females, that they have to be caring. They have to provide attention. They have to provide time for caring. So this is a kind of double bind situation, which I think good to know, because it just leads us or thinking that we have to open up when we are thinking of gender equality in education. In the practice, it means that we don't have to stop at the border of the school when we are thinking how to improve gender equality in education. So for the next like 2-3 minutes, I just would like to say, because it's really hard to, so this webinar is about how to support girls in STEM education or STEAM education in general, and to show you some practices. So just to give you like a theoretical framework, how to think about the solution to promote gender equality in STEAM education, is that the two main questions we have to ask about it is that what are the barriers the girls or the young women face in STEM education in any kind of level? And what are the steps and what are the actions the teachers can do in a classroom or in a school or at the community level or in the country, if, for instance, we are thinking of the national curriculum. So the two things what we need, or you always need to consider, is that there are challenges. So the challenges has to be explored, and then you have to see that what kind of level you would like to change. So whether it's the school level, whether it's the a broader level around the school, or it's the macro level of a country. And what do we mean on gender sensitive teaching? So it's either when you hear about it, you can hear that it's a incorporating gender perspective, or making the education more gender sensitive or more responsive, gender responsive. So it doesn't matter which way we express it, but it means that the equal participation is encouraged and ensured. For this, we have to take into consideration the specific learning needs of every girl and boys, the challenges. So we speak here about the challenges, and the teachers. So if we are staying at the level of the classes, so the teachers have to find the appropriate less responses for the learning needs of each individuals, and to understand if you so if you go further, then you have to understand what it means for your class. Is it incorporating a gender aspect in a methodology? Is it introducing a gender-related topics, or is it analyzing your methodology for evaluating students' performances? So then you have to find out what it means for the specific class, for the specific individuals. And here I provided, and it's just 2 more minutes, I'm speaking, or 1 more minute. So here I provided questions. So these questions guide you to understand, to kind of study that what is working in your class, or what do you have to do if you would like to incorporate the gender perspective into the teaching on the class level. And also, I would like to share that in the 𝗬𝗏𝗵 project, we are providing recommendations towards the end of the project. But what we see already, and I assume that this is again nothing new for you, that so if you want to take seriously the gender incorporation into STEM teaching, we have to think of a whole school approach, and this whole school approach means lots of other things than the curriculum or the hidden curriculum. It can mean that you have to ask questions and take initiatives about the leadership, the environment, which means also the physical environment. And then you have to do something about the attitudes, the norms, so the culture of the school, and the closer or wider community around the school. So today you will hear about like concrete examples, tools, how to improve or what to do within STEAM education. But if you would like to like really think of how to improve gender equality, it's never enough to think of the only of the class. And at the same time, you have to incorporate everything on a class level. And by the end, I just would like to share that I put together some useful resources for you. So where do you find good practices on our website? And since we are not ready with our toolkits and handbooks for the educational activities, I would recommend a handbook for teachers, which includes curriculums for classes, for STEM classes. And then at the last link, you will find a whole school approach to improve gender equality within specific goals. So this was a very short, very like quick introduction into the gender equality perspective of education versus STEAM education. And thank you for your attention. And I am asking Hlaima, how do you want to proceed with the webinar? Asking questions. If the participants can ask questions right now, or they will have the opportunity by the end of Peter's presentation.
If anyone has a question right now, I believe they might deliver it. But if anything, I think we can also proceed with Peter's part, and then answer all the questions that will arise during the webinar, if that's okay. Okay. So then, Peter, I believe we can turn to you now. Thank you, Kezban.
Thank you very much. And I am going to go more into detail what we do as a team or as a company. But if you have any question in general about STEM and STEAM education, I am more than happy to answer. So we are Maker Redbox. We are a Hungarian startup company who are using technology in the classroom to create an inclusive environment in education. We are using microcontrollers like these. We are using 3D printing, and we are using laser cutting in order to create stories in classroom environments. So there is a lot of technology happening, and adding additional dimension to what Katalin just described, that teachers are in many cases are not ready to provide an inclusive environment in a STEAM lab or makerspace or fab lab to include everybody who really wants to be part of the activity. And now my presentation, which is here, share. I hope you can see it. And start. Yes. Okay. No. Okay, here it is. So I'm just waiting for the small screen to change. And if I do this, then can you see that I am changing the slides now? No. Okay, stop share and do it in the rough way that I'm sharing my entire screen. Okay. Share. So that's it. Okay, great. So you can see my presentation now. With Maker Redbox, how I change. Okay, here we are. This is a general slide to show you what kind of starting point we have about education, that we are very well aware that which skills are the most valuable, which are the most essential for the future, like problem solving, analytical thinking, digital literacy, critical thinking. And we are using technology, STEAM education, to foster these skills. And our aim is to be able to reach as diverse group of kids as possible. This is another slide to reinforce our notion of which skills should be the most interesting. And of course, we are very well aware of the challenges which are in education in many levels. Students are very hard to motivate. Things are happening so fast. And because of this, we thought that the best approach to STEAM education is not to teach technology, because technology is a very exclusive property, but try to approach with storytelling. And what we did in the last 10 years is that we are telling different stories with technology, which act as a vehicle for inclusivity in many levels. So there is inclusivity in gender, inclusivity in different challenged groups, inclusivity in many of the levels of the school system. You will see that there are some examples which are in the school system and some examples which are outside of the school system. But basically, we are telling 4 stories here: the superheroes, the city of future, the green engineers, and the global warming. All of these are half year, half semester, 32-hour stories, during which the kids are using the technology to tell stories, to build different objects. You can see some of the objects here as a reference to find their own voice, find their own career possibilities, to find what is interesting for them in STEAM education in general. I try to give you a few examples which are highlighting the fact that we are trying to close the gender gap as much as possible. When we are creating in a makerspace environment, we are very well aware of all the biases which Katalin mentioned to you. So it's basically considered that a workshop or a space with machines is considered to be boys. So we are deliberately trying to extend this barrier and inviting everybody for a shared experience. And I can tell you that the biggest challenge here is to make teachers understand that this is for them even. So it's for you actually, you people who are in this call. You are the target group who should act as a role model for the children, as an educator, to show them that they are, all of them, boys and girls, are capable of practicing STEAM education. And I just wanted to run down on a few examples of what we did in different projects in the last 10 years for you to see how diverse our experiences are. For example, we won the Google Impact Challenge a few years ago, which is a grant from Google to make social change in the society. And we were working with foster home students and mostly female foster home students with our activities. If you remember, there is City of Future, the second one. This is the most popular one, and also the most easy to make people to participate. But I will elaborate a lot about this later. And you can clearly see here how the creators are building their own 3D printed laser cut and cities which have all kind of robotic components in them. And I did not brought you any videos because they are on Hungarian, but I am proud to say that there were many cities which are woman-led. So they are not only building the city, but they are also electing a mayor for the city. They are also electing a council for the city. And it was wonderful to see that in many cases, actually in most cases, the cities were run by women because they understood very well after a few weeks or few days into the activity that this is for everybody. This is something which everybody can use, everybody can practice, and everybody can have a career built on it. On the left, you can see some of the superheroes because it was a mixed activity. There were groups taking City of Future and some groups taking superheroes, which is a completely different story, but it's still storytelling, and there is a lot of inclusivity happening in this kind of storytelling. And maybe I will elaborate a lot more about it. And prime example of what we are doing, that we were commissioned by Huawei, a Chinese technology company, to promote STEAM education to women. And we started a women-only activity of one of our boxes, the Green Engineers. And it was a 6-part national program at 6 different cities. 60 girls were participating in a large Green Engineer course. The Green Engineer course is a travel to Mars. So they are in a role of astronauts who are traveling to the Mars, and they are facing different challenges which they can only solve if they are able to build different prototypes with 3D printing, tinkering, and coding. And they all successfully completed these challenges. And many of the girls told us later that they were strengthened, they were reaffirmed with their career choices because of the activities they had. It's a quite long activity, 32 hours. So there is a lot to build, a lot to experiment, and they were more than happy to participate in these kind of activities. I'm going to show you another example, a small town in the countryside of Hungary. It's a all-girls class building City of Future. As you can see, they are really adept in using technology, 3D printing or electronics. You can see all these beautiful hexa boxes which we use to build the City of Futures. And I don't have an image here, but there was another class of female entrepreneurs who did the very same City of Future, a completely different city, but they were working parallel to each other. If you are interested, I can show you a lot more pictures about these groups of women building different cities and taking leadership roles in all of these cities with technology. But let's get back to what they did actually. So just to give a little bit more light on how our activities are organized and how they are accessible to everyone. I mean, we have a target age which is 11 to 17, and we are trying to trying to influence the teachers and the principals more into understanding that what we do, what we use technology for is for everybody. And this is a major barrier which you witnessed with Kataline's presentation, that they assume that most of these are for boys because these are boyish stuff. But as you have seen from the slides, we basically achieved that half of the makers, half of the students we are working with are women, and actually their voice can be heard through the making of these kind of objects which we are presenting. This is a slide to better understand how we fit into the school system. Sometimes we can get into the curriculum, sometimes not. Some of our partners are using it in a school activity or after school activity, or completely different out of the school activity, like science centers or museums. These are the main focus we are looking for, and you can see that all of these are very well suited into be the part of inclusion and the gender equality, because we want to do this 4 points with every kind of children, no matter the gender or the previous experience with STEM fields. For example, our main focus is rather to foster their creativity and make their voices to be heard through creation, which has no gender limits at all. For example, in City of Future, you can see that these are the main points, not technology or some aspects of the STEM education which are kind of limiting the accessibility of the materials. And these are the main we call it competency matrix, the main competencies which we are developing. And our approach is, and I think that's why Katalin asked me to present, is that the green ones, which you can see on the right, are of course the hard technical skills, but these are not the focus, because only with the green ones, only with some STEAM or STEM kits, we would have the same result every time which we had in the first formative years, that mostly boys applied to our activities. And we very well understood that this is not a sustainable model if we only recreate the same robotics clubs every year. So that's why we have much more focus. 80% of our skills are for what we call the essential skills, the skills which are opening up the possibility to engage technology, not to make a distance from it. These are some of the facts about us. And we are present in Lithuania, by the way. We are present in many countries already. These are some examples of reviews by different teachers who are working with our materials. This is a fine map of in which countries and how many schools we are working with. And now I am going to give you a very short glimpse on the scale and the possibilities. A few of the locations, and I chose these locations because if you look at the images, you will see that many of the creators are women, and we kind of achieved what we wanted, that we managed to create a gender equal solution for STEAM education. And there are many other solutions like this, but I know a very few solutions which managed to engage women as much as we could, because we were coming from the side of the storytelling and not from the side of technology. So this is the Netherlands, proud creators of a City of Future in Netherlands, presenting their result. This is a local presentation, and I want to stress that most of the teachers we are working with are female teachers, and they have no prior knowledge of technology like 3D printing or coding, and they are able to get these skills and act as mentors for students, male and female students, to foster their careers and future, which is a big very inspiring to see. This is another project in Belgium. This time I could not find any image of girls building city of future. We have a few schools in Finland. We have more than actually one of my colleagues in the call that we managed to find a partner in Lithuania, and we already started to work with Lithuanian schools who are we are translated to Lithuanian, and they are building city of futures and using, as far as I remember, green engineers to foster education. There is a school in Kuwait who is it's a really interesting example. I could talk 30 minutes only about the Kuwait school. We were a major vehicle, as you can see on the lower left, for women to have their voices heard in a makerspace environment. So before that, only the boys were going to the makerspace, and the teacher, who you can see on the video, we are not going to watch the video, was struggling to how to engage girls, women for the activities of the STEAM lab, the makerspace, and with the help of our stories, he was able to address the rest of the school, and it was a huge success story for him to diversify the makerspace of the school. And we are also present in Indonesia, which is really an interesting experience. It might be not visible to the on the images, but all the teachers were female, and you can see that approximately half of the students were female also, and it was a really interesting journey into a different culture and a different understanding of what a city is in general. We have a very important partner in Iceland. So far, the only country we are very well present at or with is Iceland. They are basically in every school, and when the teachers came here to learn about our solutions, we spoke a lot about gender equality and technology, and they were totally convinced that our approach, storytelling, is the way how to address, how to maintain how to make a sustainable solution for engaging women in technology. And I just put here a few more examples of South Africa, and maybe one more. Yes, Lebanon. Lebanon is also a beautiful example, because most of the city mayors of the City of Future were female mayors, and this is a striking difference between Lebanon, because most of the leaders of Lebanon are male, and you can see that most of the creators are female in this case with our approach. And there is another beautiful makerspace, just to give you an idea how it looks like as a science center or a museum. And Lebanon, some of the universities we are working with, and I wanted to bring you a single example of how we are trying to close the gender gap. And this example is that in one of our material in global warming, which is a 32 hours activity, you have to take roles. The students have to take roles, and they are going on a journey through the world, visiting different countries, learning from solutions, making object with these solutions. And if you look at the team, the girl with the red hair behind the others is actually the the decision maker of the team. So these are stereotypes of roles: the decision maker, which you call the politician; the inventor, the guy with the or the girl with the pencil next to his or her hat; the entrepreneur, who is on the upper row, and in the middle there is the scientist, the influencer, and the artist. And each kid have to take a role according to these 6 roles which they take during the half-year expedition. And I can tell you there is a really diverse examples of how different roles are taken. And so far, this is the best moment to hear all the women voices in a class, even in a classroom environment with technology that we have seen so far. So I am happy to present you this solution. If you have any question, I can comment on many other possible solutions or tell you more about our solutions. It's up to the questions.
Thank you, Katalin and Peter, very much for sharing your insights and good practices. Now I turn to the teachers. If you have any questions or want to discuss something, feel free to ask by turning on your microphone or writing in a chat. Jei kas jaučiatės nejaukiai kalbėti angliškai, galite užduoti lietuviškai, aš pasistengsiu pavertėjauti. If anyone is uncomfortable talking in English, I will do my best to help you as a translator. Yes.
Yeah, my colleague Łukasz just sent you the link of our Lithuanian partner who is using 𝗦𝘂𝗺𝗺𝗵.
Yes. Everyone can see it, I believe. So are there any questions, any reactions, or anything you would like to share and discuss with Peter and Katalin?
I'm just browsing through the names of the participants.
I can admit that it's very difficult to ask questions about the gender equality because you're either doing it, you're facing difficulties with resources, and it's a never-ending story. But if any of you as a teacher has experience in how to improve gender equality perspective in your teaching, we are very interested to hear it.
Kas turite irgi patirčių iš savo mokymo, tai irgi galite dabar drąsiai pasidalinti. If anyone has any experience in your own field, feel free to share and to discuss it with everyone. Okay. I can see that there are no hands raised in the chat section.
Laima, sorry, my name is 𝗬𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗶. I'm the colleague of Peter based in Budapest. And yes, I would like to say that we were in Vilnius last year. We had a meeting with teachers as well. And yes, we're proud to say that 𝗬𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗍 is working with our City of the Future box available in Lithuanian. And also, as I wrote in the chat, Professor from the Kaunas Engineering Lyceum is using this mission to Mars for the past 2 years. So this is nothing new for the Lithuanian market. So we are encouraging the colleagues to have a look, because we know how important for Lithuanian teachers is that you have a project-based content that is ready, that you don't have to develop it yourself, but it enables you to work with STEAM properly and include, of course, all girls and all boys in class. So we would encourage them to look at the Lithuanian version of City of the Future
Just to add a
Yes.
thought for this, to better understand why 𝗬𝗂 is telling this, because in our understanding or in our experience, there are two kind of teachers. One kind we call the super teachers, who already have a group of students around them and are very well versed in technology. That's why we call them super teachers, because they have been with technology for many years. And there are many similar teachers who are really good with students, also have this circle of close mentorship around them, but they are not started with any kind of STEAM technology yet. And just to give you another example, just to show you something for a moment, I hope you will see it, share. This is a website which offers you awful lot of STEAM education resources. So I use it as an inventory to all the STEAM education resources you will ever find. And it's very, very hard to learn all of them. You see that I could scroll on for a long time, and there would be different solutions for STEAM education. And they are really hard to learn, all of them. And you have to choose which one to take, and which one to to guide your students through, and that's what we are doing. We are trying to make teachers, how to put it, more adventurous in this kind of exploration of technologies in general, to include these technologies to the classroom. And there is a lot of barriers to break down, and that's our mission to take.
Thank you for the comments. Checking again if there are any questions or insights you would like to share with everyone. If not, then I believe we can say a big thank you for Katalin and Peter for sharing your broader insights, for showing us the tools, the methods that might be used. We can see that the role of the teacher is really crucial in encouragement children, and especially girls, in enrolling STEAM education, STEAM initiatives. So I believe that all the teachers here are already doing this great work, this big job by encouraging your students to enroll in STEAM. So let's continue doing that. We can see that a lot is being done all over the Europe, right? And we might find some partners everywhere, right? We have some partners apparently in Lithuania as well who work with the tool created. So let's learn from one another. Let's share, and let's keep encouraging our young minds into enrolling into STEAM.